My best friend is demanding a free wedding cake that's worth more than my car, and now I'm trapped in a horrible secret. This is going to be very, very long. I am sorry. I just have no one else to talk to about this. My phone is blowing up, my bakery is suffering, and I feel like I am going insane. I need to give a lot of background for this to make sense. Please just read. I am desperate. The cast: me, OP, 30 female. I'll call myself Sam. I am a professional pastry chef and I own a small, high end bakery. My best friend, 30 female. Let's call her Meg. We have been best friends since we were 5 years old. We are closer than sisters. Her fiance, 32 male, Josh. He's a finance guy, very charming, very put together. So, where do I even begin? Meg and I are those friends, the kind you see in movies and think, that's not real. We have been a unit since kindergarten. We were maids of honor at each other's first weddings. We held each other's hands through our ugly, painful divorces. When her dad passed away, I was the one who made the funeral arrangements because she was just gone. She was a shell. And when my ex husband left me, she was the one who showed up at my apartment with a suitcase, kicked him out, and physically packed my things while I cried in the car. We have 25 years of history. This is important. When I was struggling to open my bakery 5 years ago, my business loan was denied. I was done. It was over. Meg, who had just gotten a small inheritance, came to my apartment, put the lease agreement on my table, and said, "You are co signing this with me. You are not giving up." I am not exaggerating when I say my bakery exists because of her. I would die for her, and I always, always believed she would do the same for me. My bakery is my life. I am not just good at baking. I want to be very clear about this. I am a professional trained pastry chef. I studied at a top culinary school in France. I worked in two-star Michelin restaurants. My business, The Gilded Crumb, is finally starting to get recognition. We specialize in extremely complex sculptural wedding cakes, the kind you see in bridal magazines that look more like art installations than food. This is important. My work is my art, but it's also my livelihood. It's how I pay my mortgage. It's how I pay the salaries of my two amazing employees, Maria and Ben, who have families of their own. I can't just give it away. About a year ago, Meg met Josh. He seemed perfect, almost too perfect. He doted on her, he was successful, handsome, and he seemed to genuinely love her, flaws and all. I was thrilled. My best friend, who had been through so much, was finally getting her happily ever after. 6 months ago, he proposed. It was a huge, flashy proposal on the yacht. She was over the moon. I was, of course, named the maid of honor instantly. I was so happy for her. I started planning the bachelorette party, the bridal shower, everything. The first hints of trouble came at the engagement party. It was at a fancy hotel, very lavish. Meg and I had a moment alone by the bar. She was giddy. She grabbed my arm and said, "And the best part, Sam, is that I don't have to worry about the cake. I already know it will be perfect because my best friend is making it." I laughed. I said, "Of course I am, honey. I can't wait to sit down and design it with you. I'll give you the family and friends discount. Don't you worry. We'll just cover the ingredients." Her face fell, just dropped. The smile vanished. She said, "Discount? Sam, what are you talking about? You're my maid of honor. It's your gift to me." I was a little taken aback. I tried to explain gently. Meg, a cake for a wedding this big in my style, it's not just a few eggs and some flour. It's hundreds of hours of work for me, for Maria, for Ben. The ingredients alone cost a fortune. I can't just give that away. The bakery couldn't take that kind of hit. She looked like I had slapped her. She said, I can't believe you're talking about money right now at my engagement party. This is my one perfect day, and you're trying to send me a bill. She started to tear up. Josh appeared like magic. He put his arm around her. What's wrong, baby? She whispered something to him. His face darkened. He looked at me, not with anger, but with this look of smooth disappointment that was so much worse. He said, Sam, I'm sure we can sort this out. Meg is just so excited and she loves you so much. We were just assuming, as her best friend, you'd want to be a part of her big day in your special way, as a gift. We didn't think you'd want to charge her. He put his hand on my arm, all smiles. Sam, we're family now. Let's not make this transactional. I felt my face get hot. They were making me sound like a greedy monster. I tried to stammer out an explanation about cost of goods and labor, but they were already a united front. Meg was crying. She said, just forget it. I'll go to a normal bakery. I thought you loved me. She walked away and Josh followed, rubbing her back and glaring at me. I spent the rest of the night being avoided. Every time I tried to talk to someone, they'd give me a weird look and walk away. I felt like a pariah. I left early. I cried the whole way home. Was I the asshole? A cake is a cake, right? But this is my job. I didn't hear from her for 3 days. This is a woman I talk to every day. My texts were unread. My calls went to voicemail. I was sick to my stomach. I couldn't focus at work. I kept checking my phone, my heart jumping at every notification, only for it to be a stupid email. I thought I was losing my best friend. Finally, she texted me. Can we talk? She came over to my apartment. She looked tired. She had been crying. She apologized for the scene. I apologized for upsetting her. We had a long hug. It felt like we were back to normal. Then she sat down. She had a laptop. Okay, so I know you're worried about the cost, so I found a design that's super simple. It's not what I dreamed of, but if it makes it easier on you, it's fine. I was so relieved. I thought we were going to pick a nice, simple 3-tier cake. She opened the laptop. My heart sank into my stomach. It was not a simple cake. It was a 6-tier, suspended, gravity-defying sculpture. It was hanging from a floral chandelier. It had hand-pulled sugar flowers on every tier. It had intricate, hand-piped lace that mimicked her dress. It had gold leaf. It was, and I am not exaggerating, a $10,000 cake. The labor alone would be over 100 hours. For just me. I just stared. I said, Meg, this is not simple. This is the most complex cake I've ever seen. This is more expensive than the one I thought you wanted. She just smiled. But it's so us, isn't it? It's perfect. And since you're not paying for a venue or a dress, this will be your gift. It's the one thing, the only thing I really, really care about. I tried to explain. Meg, this isn't just sugar. This is Belgian chocolate that costs $30 a pound. These are Tahitian vanilla beans, not extract. The sugar flowers alone, that's 40 hours of pulling sugar just for the roses. Never mind the ponies. I'd have to turn down 3 other paid weddings to make this. I would lose money. She just rolled her eyes. You're being so dramatic. It's just baking. You love baking. We had a massive fight, the worst fight of our lives. I told her she was being unreasonable and entitled. She told me I was a bad friend and that I was jealous of her happiness. She said I was being a stingy businesswoman instead of her sister. She stormed out. I was shaking. The next wave started 2 days later. First, it was her mom, Mrs. B, who was like a second mother to me. She called me, "Oh, Sam, honey, Meg is just a wreck. She's so stressed with the wedding. You know how she gets. And Josh is so worried